In the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, young men beginning at the age of 18 are asked to leave their families, friends, and communities to serve a full-time mission. Today I'm joined with 4 members of the BYU-Hawaii men's basketball team, Justin Parks, Solomone Wolfgram, and Dee McCleary, along with Tanner Nelson. Guys, thanks for joining with us today. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Now, where did you guys serve your missions?
I served in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Arizona Phoenix mission.
Indonesia.
I served in the best mission in Campinas, Brazil.
Now, what has been one of your most memorable or one of the best experiences that you guys have carried with you from your missions?
One experience that I will always remember is reading the scripture with one of our investigators, and how every time we'd open them up and read with her that the room would be filled with the Spirit, and that we were able to see her progress spiritually and to later see her go into the waters of baptism.
A great experience for me was after I'd been out about 6 months on my mission. I was trying to be a good missionary, trying to work hard, but stuff was not happening, and I was going through kind of a rough patch and struggling. And I had interviews coming up with our mission president, so I got to meet with him. And I told him my situation. I was struggling, trying all this stuff, and it wasn't working. And he just looked at me and he was like, "Elder, do you know what it means to persevere until the end?" And kind of smacked me in the face a little bit, and I was like, "Okay, President, I'll keep working, I'll keep trying." And after that, it kind of woke me up on my mission and kind of turned my mission around, where I kept working harder no matter what happened.
One of the best experiences for me was, when I finally picked up the language of Indonesian, because it's a pretty hard language to learn. I made a lot of mistakes at the beginning, but I think that's how you learn the best, when you make mistakes. So I thought it was great, the gift of tongues.
Now, what has the transition been from full-time missionary to student athlete? Because while on the mission, you guys don't have, the liberty to go out and train, lift weights, and play on the court. So what has the transition been for you guys?
I feel like physically it was harder for me just to get back into shape where I could feel good, I could feel athletic again. But I think mentally though, I kind of think of it more as a game, because when you're younger, you think of sports in general just as like your whole life. It's so important. But then after going on a mission and seeing like real life situations, people struggling with like real problems, then I came back and I realized I get to play a game, I get to play a sport for fun, and it's just something I love to do. So I think it's a lot more enjoyable now. So that helped the transition back into basketball a lot.
Well, physically, it's been a rough transition. I feel like I could move a lot better before my mission than I was when I got back from my mission. But I feel like the physical transition is a big thing, but it's definitely something that you can adapt very quickly to if you're dedicated to it.
Yeah, so I'm 30 pounds lighter now. So I guess when I first got back, you can imagine how hard it was for me just to get up and down the court. And they can testify that too as well.
Yeah, it does.
Now, was it hard for you guys to forego 2 years of not only sports, but your family and friends as well?
Yeah, I think the decision to go on a mission is always tough, because you're leaving things you love, people you love for 2 years. But I made the decision since I was young. I always knew I was going to go on a mission. It wasn't really an option in my mind. I always wanted to go. So when the time came, it was hard. It was hard to leave and put aside everything, but it was something that I knew I needed to do, and it was something that I knew I wanted to do since I was little, so I did it.
Yeah, it was hard, especially in the beginning. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but growing up in the church, I obviously decided at a young age that I wanted to serve a mission, but when the time finally came around, I was unsure of myself, unsure of my circumstances, but luckily I had great friends that surrounded me, and they started putting in their papers, and so I kind of felt that it was time for me to receive my call as they had received theirs, and so I was able to go out.
In the beginning, making a decision was pretty hard, but once I made a decision, it was easy. I knew it was something that the Lord wanted me to do, and that was going to bless my life, because there was so many people at BYU, here at BYU, that would kind of tell me about their missions and all that, and I kind of wanted the same thing for me.
Now, while you guys were on your mission, an announcement was made here at BYU-Hawaii that they were going to get rid of athletics. What were you guys' reactions?
I found out from a member in Indonesia, and it kind of ruined that day for me. But after that day, I kind of realized, yeah, God has a plan and everything will work out.
I was devastated. because I was super excited to come to BYU-Hawaii. I'd been looking forward to it a lot, and how I found out and got the emails made it seem like I felt like I wasn't going to end up coming here or have a chance to play here anymore. But luckily I was on the mission at the time because it helped me stay focused and it helped me not worry about it too much. And really, I think everything like worked out for the best for me in my situation now. And it's like what other people have said, like God has a plan for each of us. And so when that happened, when that came through to me, I just felt like things would work out no matter what happened when I came back from my mission.
Well, when I first found out about it, I found out about it through other missionaries, and then my mom emailed me about it. And so I think at that point I was over a year in my mission, and so I was really focused on the work and focused on the Lord and what He wanted me to do at that time. And so it didn't affect me as much as it may have affected other people. I wasn't really worried about it just because I knew the goal, the vision that Heavenly Father had for me at that time.
Well, I remember the day I found out Coach Evans, who's coaching at Lone Peak in Utah, he wrote me on Facebook because we were a mission online, and he was just telling me how the program's gone. But I actually didn't reply because I guess it didn't really bother me that much because I was really focused on teaching and helping people come closer to Christ.
Now, how does missionary work relate to not only being a good athlete, but a good student as well?
One thing that popped in my mind is on the mission field, there's days where you don't really feel like going out the door. It's 120 degrees outside, you're on a bike and all that, but it translates directly here to basketball and to school. Where in school you don't want to go to class, or in basketball you don't want to go to practice, but you kind of have to do those things in order to be successful.
The mission really teaches you how to reach your goals and to work hard and be dedicated to reach your goals. Because as a missionary, you set goals for every day and for every week, and sometimes even months ahead of time. You have a vision of what you want to do. And as a student and as an athlete, that's really what you have to do too. You have to set a goal to get good grades. You have to set goals to be a good player, to be a good team. And then you have to be dedicated and work hard to do that, and you got to do it every day. And that's what the mission teaches you. You do the same thing every day, working hard. And when you come here, you do the same thing every day, working hard, getting better at basketball, doing your schoolwork, and then it works out.
Well, as a missionary, there's a lot of rules that you follow. There's certain expectations that you set for yourself, certain goals that you want to accomplish. And so as a student athlete, you kind of have that same goal in mind. You want to do good in school, you want to be a good player. And so you definitely requires a lot of dedication on both parts, whether you're a missionary or an athlete. And so I think dedication is a great part in it.
There's a lot of attributes you learn on the mission that help with like the attributes you learn on the basketball court. Because on the mission you learn how to follow rules, you learn how to be disciplined, to be dedicated. You learn time management, which is important to be a student athlete, because you have to learn how to manage your time with basketball, with school, the beach, stuff like that.
Now, do you guys feel as if some coaches and some recruiters look down upon young men who have that desire to serve a two-year mission and step away from the game of basketball for 2 years?
I do feel that coaches that don't understand the value or the importance of missionaries, that they don't really see the big deal about it. But I think if they could all see the attributes and how a person comes out after serving a mission, I think that they'd be more inclined to go to that person and recruit that person who had served a mission than somebody that didn't.
If you look from their perspective, if they're trying to recruit an athlete for basketball, and then the athlete says, okay, but I'm going to go to Indonesia for 2 years and I'm not going to touch basketball for 2 years, the recruiter's going to be like, hey, like, why? You're not going to get any better. But if they'd actually, like, learn about the mission, what the athlete's going to be doing, he'd learn about all the, like, the good things he learns, and, yeah, he'd be able to, like, appreciate it more.
I feel like the recruiters who don't understand what happens on a mission, they really look down on it because they don't understand how much you can learn and how much you can grow as a person on a mission. But I feel like the ones who understand or have been around return missionaries, they really value a mission. I talked to a few who really loved return missionaries because they were older and more mature, and they encouraged me to go on a mission, even though it's kind of a hassle for their program to have to wait 2 years to have a recruit come. But I really feel like if recruiters understand how much you learn on a mission, they would encourage more people to go on missions. They would want more return missionaries on their teams because it helps a lot.
Now, there are thousands and thousands of young men in the church who are currently struggling with this decision on choosing whether to play a sport or go on a mission. What would your guys' advice be to these young men?
I'd say serve a mission. You earn more on a mission than you would playing sports, and you'd be blessed eternally. And like my mom always said, your wife will be prettier if you serve a mission.
Yeah, go on a mission. If you keep God's commandments, you'll be blessed. Things will work out for the better in the long run. Even down the future, your mission will pay off. Hopefully with a good wife, with kids, it'll help in everything after. So go on a mission.
I'd say go on a mission as well. You're going to be gaining a lot of life, long lessons and all that kind of stuff that you can apply when you come back into your marriage or into school and your sport. But if he definitely doesn't feel right, which it probably will always feel right, then don't force yourself to go out.
My advice would be to go on a mission, to trust in the Lord and to have faith that He's going to bless you not only on your mission but after your mission. And it's definitely a promise that I've seen come true in my life and in the lives of my friends that have also missions.
We'd like to thank Justin, Solomon, D, and Tanner for sitting down with us and not only being great basketball players but great return missionaries and examples to all of our friends inside our nation.